Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Deploying.
Boss, the Soviet engineer is being held prisoner at the Wak Sin barracks. You need to find him and get him out. He tried to defect from the base camp up north, but it didn't work out. Now they're holding him at Wak Sin. He's offered his technical skills to us as long as we can guarantee his safety. You have to extract the target.
Your target just happens to be the man who developed your prosthetic hand. He's the only one capable of maintaining it. If we bring him in, I'm sure he'll be able to modify it in all kinds of ways as well.
Be careful down there, boss.
The map has been updated.
That's the Wak Sin barracks. The target is somewhere inside that outpost. The Soviets consider him a traitor now, so he'll be treated like any other prisoner.
Analysis complete. Marker placed. Enemy presence detected. You have arrived at your destination. Clouds approaching. You have arrived at your destination. Analysis complete.
Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже на проблему с электроэнергией. Ближайший подход. Проверите и питание. КП, СВ-1. Оборудование повреждено. Похоже, дело рук врага. Прием. Это КП, понял. Немедленно все осмотрите. Конец связи.
The map has
Okay,
been updated.
subject is in.
You have arrived at your destination.
an escape route in mind when you head indoors. If you get surrounded, you'll have nowhere to run. Good work.
Mission info has been updated.
Осмотр сектора завершен!
Это Дмитрий-4. Никаких признаков врага. Дмитрий-4, что случилось? Ответьте, Дмитрий-4.
Лови!
Проблема. Тревога по всем постам.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
All right. Mission complete, boss.
Please select a landing zone. Deploying. Marker placed. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
Side ops list updated.
Okay, subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Marker removed. Marker placed.
Boss, we gave Ralph, that kid who died in the accident, a burial at sea. The man in charge of that facility has been severely punished. But ever since, the kids have been acting strange. It's obvious they've lost their trust in adults. I was getting reports of them ignoring the staff, or getting insolent, and even violent. And a few days later, several of the kids did a disappearing act. They snuck into choppers and shipping containers and got off base. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. These kids were born in a war zone and forced to grow up as war fighters. If they're left alone, war is how they'll die. But I thought we showed them there are other reasons to live. I never liked having children on Mother Base. But the thought of them going back to the battlefield and picking up their old lifestyle is something I can't stomach. It makes me think of Chico, 9 years ago. We have to get those kids back. Hell, they know too much about our operation. I never expected even the kids to betray us. Snake, you remember the White Mamba? Of course, he's been going by Eli since we brought him on base. He was the leader of the child soldier unit we took out of that village and into our protection. Well, according to the kids you brought back here, all the escapees were especially close to Eli. There's reason to suspect he's behind all 6 escapes. We've already detained him. I'll be questioning him shortly.
Wait. You'll be?
Ocelot.
You're incapable of taking an impartial stance with those kids. Question them all you want. It'll get you nowhere.
Ocelot, you get too many kicks from your art of interrogation.
It's not a matter of art. It's about quick, minimal strokes of psychological warfare. That's what gets the answers. And it's the best way to keep both questioner and subject safe. The risks only increase the more an interrogation drags on. At that point, it causes as much pain to the inflictor as the inflicted.
Like I said, too many kicks.
What I'm trying to tell you is we need quick results. Otherwise, it'll be too little, too late.
I know that.
And besides, I know the subject. I won't go overboard with a kid.
Forget it. You're not needed. Snake, we'll want to question the other kids too. Be sure to bring them all back. Snake,
Enemy presence
about the
detected.
escaped children.
Do not pursue
Eli
them.
confessed. The way he tells it, they wanted to go back to the battlefield. Don't rob them of their freedom, he said. If you bring them all back, there will be consequences. Next he'll be asking for our surrender.
Consequences? What consequences?
No idea. That's all I have for now.
You're too attached to those kids. Stop protecting Eli.
Listen to yourself.
Extraction
Let me
of
question him,
Mother
and we'll
Base.
get some real answers.
Not necessary. I'll report as and when.
Boss, we found weapons in the children's section of the living quarters. As you know, weapons are strictly off limits. We've got some rule breakers.
Approaching.
The weapons we found were handmade. Blades ground out of knives and forks, a couple of bow guns built out of scrap, and explosives made using detergents. And get this, the explosives were tightly packed with nails. The kids put the blame on, you guessed it, Eli. I guess that's what he meant by consequences.
I questioned him about it. But this time he claimed they want to be put out on missions. Send us to the battlefield, he says.
Miller, enough is enough. You've protected him too much already. It's my turn to question him.
Protected?
What Eli's doing is issuing a threat. Comply with my demands or I'll respond with force. But it'll be war at this rate. Forks and soap aren't gonna kill us, but some of them will end up dead. Is that what you want? Now, I hate to say it, but they want to be on the battlefield. It's time you gave up this fantasy.
Eli, he said they'd rise up against us if we bring the last kid back.
There, you see? Ignore his demands. Don't let him return to quarters. That attitude is contagious. We lose control over them for good.
For the time being, we've confiscated those handmade weapons. We're bumping up security and the number of psychiatric counselors. As for Eli,
He needs some very special care.
you mean solitary?
Well, we can't leave him in contact with the other kids. If you won't do it, I will. Boss, keep working on extracting those kids. We finished decoding the informant's report. That floating kid we've run into a few times now. Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments. The Soviets called him the Third Boy. The Third Boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia.
According to the intel team, the escaped kids should be around here. Locate and secure them.
And finally, an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless, he was quite the popular subject.
Analysis complete.
His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, the Third Boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. Evil thoughts, in particular. They affected his mind like a virus. Extreme anger or resentment, motives for revenge, in other words. Now, during the transport flight to Moscow, the boy was exposed to a powerful mental energy field coming from a certain individual. Ever since, being conscious of his powers, he's become a sort of energy generator. What's unique about him is the way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy began to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual, making them a puppet, essentially. Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons. These electrical currents, though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The Third Boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching it. There's one other thing. While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his powers, like some annoying static drowning out your own voice. That means he isn't responsible for what's been happening. Somebody's extreme anger has manifested through the Third Boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted, which would mean this was going on somewhere around us. Looking back on it, a lot of things make sense now. The man on Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the Third Boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus. The boy parasitizing the man on fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighters Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa,
You gotta extract him.
Skullface's will controlled the man on fire via the Third Boy's powers. Everything is clear up to this point. Even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Surat power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the man on fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them? Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus? According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly. Cerebral nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
So, how many children do you remember being there? Children with a burning desire for revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one. Eli. We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The third boy resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out even Volgan and Skullface. The third boy probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. Remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in Shivani? That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together. And if so, maybe with Eli, he isn't feeding off him, but acting in symbiosis with him. So what kick-started the third boy's powers? If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty...
Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже...
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a landing zone. Mission not accepted. Please select a landing zone. Mission not accepted. Please select a landing zone. Mission not accepted. Please select a landing zone. Deploying. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him.
Psyops list updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Что там?
Outpost captured. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Analysis complete. Clouds approaching.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Это Зоя-7. Оборудование повреждено. Похоже, это атака врага. Прием. ДКП, понял. Немедленно все осмотрите. Конец связи. Всем боевым группам ДКП. Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже на проблемы с электроэнергией. Ближайший патруль. Проверите их питание.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
КП, это Дмитрий-3. Никаких признаков врага. Отзываем прием. ДКП, понял. Будьте наготове. Конец связи.
Analysis complete.
Эй, смотри!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
ДКП, понял. Будьте начеку. Выкурите врага. Конец связи.
Враг!
Всем боевым группам ДКП. Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже на проблемы с электроэнергией. Ближайший патруль. Проверите их питание.
Development project has been added.
КП ЗО-4. Мы прибыли. Осматриваем сектор. Прием. КП, понял. Будьте максимально осторожны. Конец связи.
Hands up. Analysis complete.
Проваливай!
Analysis complete.
Что это?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
That's the target.
Fire completed.
He's coming too.
Analysis complete.
Это КП, понял. Будьте начеку. Выгрузите врага. Конец связи.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a mission. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Please select a mission.